Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm opening Psycholonials for the first time. So we're just gonna see where this heads. We're gonna see where this goes. I've been hearing a lot from some people. I've explicitly avoided spoilers. A lot of people have told me, "Oh, it's awful. It's the worst thing ever." Which is honestly fucking expected from anyone who's a fan of anything Andrew Hussie has ever done. And so I found that the only way to get an honest read of anything that he does is just read it myself. So, we're gonna see where Psycholonials goes. Story is not suitable for minors. We're gonna go ahead and hit the sound just a little bit. It doesn't need to be that loud. Not for me, anyway. So, there's 3 chapters currently. I think I'm just going to read 1 chapter. Unless that's not an option. Oh wait, maybe it is. Maybe I do have to resume the story. Okay, let's just start. Chapter 1. Summer What Never Was. Or That Never Was. An island sits off the eastern coast of the United States. It's a little over 10 miles wide and most of the year a little over 10,000 people deep. Alright? They call it a summer colony. When the weather gets warm, the number of people pushing down on the island swells to about 50,000. The town here shares its name with the island. You live here. You're one of the residents pushing down on the place year-round. The steady residents don't contribute much weight, though. Off-season life is like a reprieve for the island, like lifting the load off the back of a perennial workhorse. The summer crush is a different story. 100,000 feet at once give you the impression the seasonal colonists have all inspired to shove this charming New England rock right back into the ocean. But 2020 is different. You don't see it happening this year. Can't say you're heartbroken about it either. Your name is Zen. It's pronounced more like Jen than Zen, but most people have determined to mispronounce your name since elementary school. Okay? Thanks. So at some point you decide to go by Z, and it stuck. Stuck it to your parents too, sorta, who endowed you with the romanization of a name which would either guarantee a lifetime of correcting people or interminably acquiescing to their wrongness. Interminably? Interminably. You like Z better anyway because it's yours, not theirs. It's roughly 3 p.m. and you have just woken up earlier than yesterday, so that's a plus. Or earlier than yesterday, so that, yeah. And with a bit of a hangover, but that's far from unusual. Your bedroom is a bit messy, but you don't notice anymore. It's a cozy little depression nest, and it serves its purpose well, which is to store the body of a depressed 23-year-old woman when she's not working. Whilst the decor manages to accurately reflect her personality and emotional landscape. If I misread things, just let it go. Also, turning that down just a little bit more. Ordinarily, you'd reach out for your smartphone before even getting out of bed, and whittle away the first hour of the day scrolling through the timelines of your various accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. You stand up to stretch your legs and have a look around to reacquaint yourself with the artifacts of your life, which have achieved invisibility through familiarity. You've arranged this exact arrangement of posters taped to your wall since you moved here. Before that, actually. These posters were on the wall of your dorm in college in this exact pattern. When the time came to make your desperate getaway from campus, you ripped it off your wall in one big taped-together mass, rolled it all up, and hit the road. Then when you got here, you simply unrolled it and put it back up. Why mess with it? This particular hodgepodge of pop culture nonsense says as much about yourself as you'd ever care to say using a wall. Maybe as a consequence of the media you consume that made you feel this way, but you've always believed you can tell a lot about the person, or about a person, by studying the things they use to like. In fact, you might even go as far as saying in this era, an individual's personality isn't much more than a composite of all the media they've ever consumed and their favorite stuff in particular. That's why whenever you meet someone new, you kind of wish you could just look at their bedroom and take a quick tour of all their interests, sparing you a lot of laborious banter and wondering about whether someone's worth your time. Again, it could be certain types of content you've consumed in your past, which resulted in this philosophy, but you can't be sure. All you can do is refresh your memory on your various interests to reaffirm who you are to yourself, along with any imaginary voyeurs who have inexplicably decided to tune into your underwhelming morning ritual. That's your Metal Gear Solid poster. You have created a number of fan works for this series, and not a single one of them is suitable for children. Very few are suitable for most adults, actually, but never mind that. You think Kojima has an advanced understanding of war which has eluded authors far more celebrated than he. You also think Kojima has an advanced understanding of horny gay men with enormous butts, which is an asset of far greater literary value in your opinion. Insane Clown Posse, of course. You're way out of this by now, but you had a juggalo phase in high school. The reason for this decision was extraordinarily complex and layered, far over the head of anyone who would ever be inclined to wonder. If you even need to ask why being down with the clown cannot be fully explained, you mainly keep this up as a reminder of your roots, a reminder of a philosophy toward family which you prefer to more conventional definitions. You've had this up since 2017, which is before Post went apeshit with all the face tattoos. Increasingly, these days he seems determined to look like hot garbage, and yet the uglier he gets, the more fond of him you grow. You will never forsake this kind-hearted goblin prince. You could tattoo a dick on his face, and you'd probably weep tears of joy. It's like you said when you checked out the ICP poster. You like to keep reminders of your pop cultural roots. There was a long story you had read when you were young. You almost never talk about it now, but this guy is here to remind you. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of you now. Alright, so making a jab at himself and at his own old works, got it. That's fine, that's good. I don't think there's anything bad about those. Or, I'm laying in commentary for no reason. I should just keep reading. That is what I do. I'm a bird, for fuck's sake. The calendar marks the days for your shifts at a local restaurant where you work as a waitress. The page is set to February 2020, but this is wrong. The pandemic sent you into an unusually bleak depression spiral, so you haven't flipped the page in months. This is right. The date is April 20, 2020. You guess you labeled a lot of these months in advance at the beginning of the year, when you were in higher spirits. A week ago was a day relevant to a childhood interest, so you facetiously drew a little doodle to commemorate. And today, of course, is Weed Day. Not that you actually smoke weed. Mostly on account of being too lazy to bother acquiring any, but that doesn't mean the annual milestone shouldn't be solemnly honored with the gravity of a religious holiday. Alright. As you stare at the calendar, you mostly just can't believe it's almost May already. Has it really been that long since you went to work? You guess that must be right. Early March was the last day the restaurant was open, and you've been holed up here ever since without pay. You've gotten by borrowing rent money from your friend Abby, who has also been shut in since the outbreak began. Not seeing her in months, not seeing anyone really, has had a very negative effect on your mental health. Probably the biggest reason you've been waking up so late these days. There's a ton of computer equipment here lying dormant. It hasn't been powered up in years, actually. Doing so would probably remind you of your college traumas. Sometimes you wonder if you will ever turn it on again. That's probably for the best. Your hacking days are behind you. A lot of those old projects you were working on could have gotten you into some serious trouble. These days it's all about cultivating your brand, although it hasn't been going that well. More to the point, you'd probably be the first to admit your online brand is fairly shitty. But one has to start somewhere. Rebuilding a social media presence after a series of psychologically devastating catastrophes doesn't happen overnight. On the floor is a printout of your manifesto. You wrote this a few years ago before your life melted down. It began as an ironic exercise, but the more you wrote, the less ironic it became. You completed it just before the series of calamitous events leading to the aforementioned meltdown. You doubt this is a total coincidence. Since, as Abby likes to point out, only crazy people write manifestos, which is more than a little hypocritical since she's been actively writing one herself. Still, hers is pretty light reading and revolves around her secret RPF, shipping theories, whereas the Jubilette Manifesto is an incendiary piece of left-wing literature that happens to revolve around unrepentant clownery. She's probably right to say it's for the best you never pick this thing up again. Your stroll down special interests lane has delayed the inevitable long enough. Time to get pulled into the vortex of your traditional wake-up scrolling binge. The timelines, the threads, the feeds, the comments, they don't brainlessly ogle themselves. You pause to admire your lock screen. It's a more recent pic of your boy, Post, complete with all of his most recent utterly grotesque tattoos. The man is looking like fresh hell, your heart palpitates, and you feel momentarily nauseous. But you regain your composure long enough to unlock your phone. Your phone unlocks. There's your background. It's a gratuitously pornographic piece of fan art depicting two muscular homosexual soldiers caught in the throes of passion. You keep this one as your unlock screen so that prying eyes in public don't get a gander of material which some may find inappropriate. But as your wise-ass friend has pointed out, the Malone lock screen is arguably more indecent to flash in public. But enough dithering over your gallery of obscene males, time to check your accounts. Most of your effort in attempting to build a brand has gone into your new Instagram account. As an influencer trying to get your footing, you've been tinkering with something in the e-girl genre. So far, you aren't doing anything too crazy. Your Dadaist? I don't know the word for it, but I recognize it. Your Dadaist impulses are what your TikTok is for. Here, it's mostly a bunch of tame, silly shots of you posing around the island. The boys love it when you go to the beach for some reason. You're very basic. Your light following mostly attracts a bunch of simps, reply guys, and rude remarks in the comment section. You're ugly. We stand a queen. Serving looks like a goddess. Total shit. All right. There's no sugarcoating it. Your TikTok is just plain weird, full of avant-garde shitposts of a humorous nature, usually performed in a completely deadpan manner, and with oblique intent to the average user of this platform. Sometimes you will knowingly post cringe, always ironically though, which is, as far as you're concerned, is dynamite content. Not many people understand it, though a handful of loyal simps in your follower list always seem to lap it up. Abby never misses an opportunity to reprimand you for your cringe posting. This is to be expected, though. She's a pro, after all, and even you know your cringe posts are indefensible. That's entirely the point. Twitter is bad. You hardly use this account, but you keep it on hand for the sake of continuing to receive abuse? You're not sure. The doxings and harassments have finally died down over the last year. Nothing close to what they were just after your meltdown. Persecution for your past crimes is barely at a trickle now, which is a double-edged sword. Sure, it's nice to get fewer death threats, but it's also a sign that no one really cares enough to bother, which is bad for the brand. It's been a few days since you posted any content. The fans are getting restless. Well, not really, but they are restless in your anxious imagination. You are just shy of 1,000 followers. Maybe a new post will push it over the edge. Of course, you understand the crowd isn't that eager for more content. You know it's a common affliction among aspiring influencers, the need to keep pushing content out of fear their followers will get bored. as if they're a slobbering pack of wild dogs, insatiable beasts who must have more. More! But you're not an idiot, and you follow plenty of accounts, too. And you know you could barely give a shit even if your favorite account stopped posting for a while. They can chill if they want? Or they can chill if they want? It simply would not affect your life. Your posting habits are more a matter of personal ethos. You want to build a brand, the content must flow, and so you shall make it flow. But what to post? This, as always, is the burning question. You fire up TikTok because that's where the shit posts go. And God knows you don't have the energy for assembling a respectable e-girl fit or fixing up your makeup. You try to think of more funny deadpan nonsense you can bullshit your way through while lying in bed. Well, not before fixing yourself up a little. Christ, you look like hell. You fix your hair a bit. No, still bad. Blech. You know what? Fuck it. You're just going to use an absurd filter and crank the irony dial all the way up, looking more and more like it's going to be a cringe post Monday. You start babbling incoherently. You even turned a voice filter on to maximize the cringe factor. What are you even saying? You have no idea where this is going. You play it back and yikes. It's hard to even get through the whole thing. It's dealing massive amounts of psychic damage. Perfect, actually. This is what you were going for. Let the simps grit their teeth through every second of this monstrosity, and thank you for it. Truth be told, this is the caliber of content they deserve. Yep, the reply guys are lining up to kiss your ass as always. Usual suspects every time. A little entourage of loyal and lascivious hype men. It's sort of adorable and disgusting to you simultaneously. You just posted cringe. She don't miss. Cringe baby. You just dropped a whole sack. A true angel. Actually, maybe more disgusting than usual today. That feeling is creeping in. Disgust. Not with the boys per se, it runs deeper than that. Your post fucking sucked and you're on the verge of regretting it. Why is it always like this, pushing out content? After hitting submit, equal odds that sense of loathing begins to settle in. Was the post a good idea? Could it have been better? Should you just not have bothered at all? It makes you feel crazy, this media landscape. Above all, you think your disgust isn't so much about the specific post as it is with a general lack of direction and inspiration. What the fuck are you even trying to do? What are you about? You're too depressed to come up with answers today, but then, that seems to be true every day. You log off TikTok with dismay. You're getting a DM on Discord. It's your friend, Abby. Not surprising, since she almost always hits you up after you post some content, usually with some friendly critique. Today is probably no different, and you have a feeling you already know what she's going to say. Isn't it a bit early in the day to be sad posting cringe? You usually have the courtesy to wait until I'm sound asleep and you're drunk off your ass. Fuck off, I know it's cringe. So this is what it's come to. Your brand as ironic cringe posters congealing before my eyes. I guess? It's hard to come up with, ideas for shit. Ain't that the truth? What are you talking about? All you do is post vids of you looking hot and saying dumb shit. Yeah! That's a hell of a brand if you can make it work, which you obviously can. At least you know what you're about. I'm still trying to figure that out. Hasn't been going well lately. That's easy. You are also about looking hot. And posting cringe, apparently. Well, not fucking hot enough. Not like you. Nonsense. The sizzling bitch plastered all across my timeline begs to differ, and the gentlemen callers you have attracted to your content, they seem none too displeased. Christ. Whoa, and what's this, Z? You crossed the 1,000 follower mark. See, you're being down on yourself for nothing. You're well on your way to the big leagues. The fuck is this patronizing shit? Besides, how am I even on your timeline? You don't even fucking follow me. You're too embarrassed to remember. Because it would hurt your brand if people could check your follow list and see my freak ass there with all my past baggage. Aw, that's not fair. You know the game, Z. How many of your fucking 3 million followers would you really lose if you followed me? I do follow you. With an alt, you know this. I mean on your main, Abby. What would it cost you, realistically, if I just showed up on that list? No fanfare, no shout-outs, or any bullshit like that. Just one friend following another because she's got her back. You'd lose, what, a few grand maybe? And even then, it'd just be a handful of snarling cunts you don't need stinking up the joint anyway. It's not even about that, it's about keeping the discourse down, come on. I mean, not to sound like a bitch, but I couldn't handle the shit you went through. You know damn well we both got the same kind of dirt on us, but what? But you already fucked yourself up, and I'm still keeping a lid on it all, like, delicately. And if you thought it was rough for you to think about what it would, if you thought it was rough for you, think about what it would be like for me at my level of visibility. Oh, I see how it fucking is. You're too famous, so you'd fall harder than I did. It's fine, I got thrown to the wolves because I'm a nobody, right? No, I mean, like, I had to go to the fucking hospital, Abby. Okay, fuck, I'll follow you. Jesus. I was just messing with you. Why do you have to turn it into such a serious thing? IDK. It's fine, actually. Don't follow me. I know exactly why you don't. I'm just being shitty because I'm in a bad mood. You're right, of course. If it triggered discourse, I'd be the one to take most of the heat anyway. I just need to keep piecing my brand together the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned? Like horse and carriage shit? Yes, Abby, that's exactly what I mean. Like how people use their cumulative social media platforms when everybody owned horses. What? Horses? What? I was fucking joking. I mean, just figure out what I'm trying to do or say here, and let people who are into that come to me naturally. Whoops. The type of people who wouldn't give a fuck about what my past is like. I know you're joking. Can we please just let it go unsaid for once that we always both know when we're joking? We always joking. We get the shit. We are not basic bitches. Yeah, I know how. Or, yeah, I know you know. My dry responses to you was also a joke, idiot. God, what is this? Fucking Dirk level? Ugh. We both know we're joking, Dirk. Can you cool it on the key mashing? I'm still fucking hungover, and it's the texting equivalent of listening to noisy traffic. Chaotic juxtaposition dharma. Auto-corrected key mash exclamation. To take the edge off for my poor and feeble friend. Oh. I do that sometimes, and it is just one of my good goofs, as you know. Whenever you do that, it's only funny to you. It's just confusing to everyone else. Nope, it's objectively hilarious to all involved. Has anyone ever not been confused when you do it? Lol, as if I even ever talk to anyone much but you. At least maybe we can agree to a notion of chaotic juxtaposition dharma sounds pretty cool, whatever that even means. Fuck yeah. That's why I thought you might be writing up a worthwhile topic rather than continuing to destroy my morning with your useless brain garbage. Lamau morning. It's almost fucking 4, bitch. Good point. I gotta get going. Okay. Any sign of you going back to work yet? Nah. Thinking that job is toast for good. Shit, why? For a while, I was hearing stuff about the owner, from the owner about reopening the restaurant and getting ready for the summer, but I haven't heard from her in weeks. I think she might have given up on the whole idea. There will even be a tourist season and just left the fucking island. Or maybe she just got the Rona and died. Fuck. It's fine. I don't really care. Okay, but what about rent? You need me to send more money, or no? I'm alright. I think I just won't pay rent this time. I don't even give a fuck anymore. What's this idiot going to do, evict me? Good luck with that, bro. Incredible attitude. I love you. Okay. Gonna eat some shit right now because I feel bad. You head to the kitchen, which isn't in much better shape than your bedroom. You pause to consider that the only reason it isn't quite as disastrous is because you spend so little time in here. You make occasional trips to peruse your scant supply of food or your copious supply of alcohol. Then, more often than not, it's right back to bed. This fridge is a total wasteland. It's hard to get out for grocery shopping. Sheltering in place has warped your lifestyle beyond recognition. Much easier to order shit, but money has been running low, and hitting Abby up for cash gets old. There's a pot of Kraft macaroni you think you made, what, 5 days ago? It looks like absolute shit, but it'll have to do. You heat it up on the stove for a couple of minutes, then bring it to the kitchen table for consumption directly out of the pot. You make a mental note that this depression meal life hack could make for some decent ironic TikTok content. No, needs some work. First, you would heat up the week-old macaroni. Then, to save time, you transport the pot outside and put the entire thing directly in a garbage can. Then, to save even more time, you curl up in a nearby bush and patiently wait to pass away. Yeah, that sounds better. Not today, though, because you already shot your TikTok shot. The second thought, that idea barely even counts as a joke. Realistically, this meal belongs nowhere except a dumpster. The macaroni is practically inedible. You force a few more mouthfuls just for the sake of preventing some of your internal organs from shutting down due to malnutrition, and put it aside. What next? Oh yeah, might as well get an early start. This bottle of whiskey is already open anyway. That's because it's the same bottle you opened yesterday. Now that breakfast is over, it's time for phase 2 of the day to kick into gear. Keeping yourself alive is hard work. Making such a healthy breakfast every morning is really taxing, and it takes a lot out of you. A couple spoons, as the emotional brittle millennials like to call them. Right down the drain, just like that. When you're low on spoons, the only thing for it is to recharge with another session of mindless scrolling on your phone. Do you enjoy it? Hell no. But spoons don't grow on trees, and the invisible spoonometer which probably floats over your head, seems to respond favorably to the practice. Scrolling. Some drama brewing over here, some discourse ramping up over there. Fuck these people. Absolutely fuck every single one of them, and all of the infantile shit they argue over. Trump did what now? Who fucking cares? Democracy is over. Moving on. Wait, what's this? Another senile rapist is challenging him for the presidency? Be still, your beating heart. Glug, glug. Your attention turns to the comments your posts have been racking up. Even on old posts, there are always a few new replies to check out for a laugh. Who's this bitch talking shit in your mentions? Oh no. A chill runs down your spine. It's one of the nightmare people who helped cancel you a few years ago. Candice Schmandis. Sycophants even know who this bitch is. Do you even know what she did? I'm going to assume that if you're willing to follow this cunt, it's only on account of ignorance. If you continue to follow her after you see all the receipts, then I can only assume you're... The thought she got bored of you, or you thought she got bored of you, but it looks like she's at it again. She's working hard to dredge up your problematic past to make sure anyone who didn't realize you did that stuff stays well informed. What a service she is doing for the public. You simply block the vile harpy and continue scrolling. People like her tend to be hit-and-run trolls. Sure, it's still somewhat triggering to see them rear their heads now and then, but it's pretty rare these days. The followers with the real staying power, of course, are the reply guys. A merry little band of lonely boys who flutter near your flame. A modest simp farm, as you've come to regard it. God bless them. That's the American dream, right? To own a nice little farm. You can herd anything on your quaint plot of land, a humble patch of dirt the founding fathers died to bequeath you. They died for your right to harvest simps. Maybe they weren't half bad? Well, no, they were. You're just an enterprising woman making the best of a series of ill-intended imperialist blunders which took place several centuries ago. You guess that's all anyone's doing, really. Okay. I have to stop, briefly, because there was nothing imperialist about the founding fathers. They were practically anarchists compared to what came before them. I'm sorry, that just hits a profound level of stupid to say that George Washington, the man who tried to refuse his presidency both times and then retired early in the second term because he didn't want to be a ruler, was an imperialist? Ugh. That's new. That is new. Well, no, it's not exactly new. I just wasn't expecting to hear that kind of phenomenally stupid shit from something that Andrew Hussie wrote, especially not something that he wrote on his own. The more time that I've spent kind of looking through Psycholonials content, though, the more I'm being convinced that he's writing this ironically. Because Hussie has a way of slipping himself into characters a lot, especially with all of those posters in the background, it makes it hard to tell when something is his opinion and when something is a character's opinion. But at the time that I started editing this, I think that he may actually be mocking the kind of people who think this stuff. Because as far as we can see, everything about this character is self-harming or self-abusive or generally pretty awful. So I think he's trying to capture some of the worst aspects of the current generation in one character. These boys, though, they aren't genocidal frauds who stain the history books of your public education. They're mostly just a bunch of harmless, randy fools. You're almost fond of them against your better judgment. You wonder how many members of this little flock happen to live here on the island. Probably nobody, since you have so few followers. You guess some of Abby's followers might live here, though. Actually, it's more than likely, since Abby lives here too. She's probably got a few simps who are thrilled to be living on the same small island with such a sexy and popular influencer. Could the same basic principle apply to you on a smaller scale? Someone following you just because he happened to notice you're not local? Or notice you're local? Not out of the question. You linger on the idea. The 1,000 people who follow you, they like you, right? Ostensibly, this is why people follow each other. The hate which has chased you around has obscured this truth, but it seems likely this is how normal people operate. That's kind of incredible for you to dwell on. That these people actually like you. Feels like a miracle that anyone would. You're certain that this list overwhelmingly consists of cishet males. You wonder how many of them are attractive. Can't possibly be more than a precious handful. Try to imagine these things, or these kings, these magnificent jewels in the rough. That they would bother following you, a complete loser and shithead with a bad attitude and even worse content, while they have the audacity to be good-looking and probably sensitive and misunderstood. You realize you're getting drunk enough to wonder if it's a good idea to reach out to your followers through a story post to see if anyone's nearby. Actually, that is not true. You don't wonder if it's a good idea. You're perfectly aware it isn't. What you mean is, you're getting drunk enough to know it's a bad idea, but do it anyway. Why waste another second bullshitting yourself about it? You know you're going to end up caving to yourself in the mental debate, so you cut to the chase and just do it. You prepare a cunning thirst trap and post it to your story. You check your DMs, and within minutes you collect about a dozen messages, all from the usual simpy suspects. Guys you were expecting a reply from no matter where they live. Really predictable shit going on here. Something about this dude's face and demeanor pisses you off for reasons you can't put your finger on. So you block him. Most of these replies are completely useless. He drippin'. I'm in Brazil, but visiting as soon as I can. Hang on. One guy here says he's from Brookline, Massachusetts. That's not far off, actually. There's something to work with here. Much depends on how invested this guy is. Maybe you could rope him into coming to the island soon. Ferry schedules vary throughout the year, but there's practically always one departing from Hyannis, which is probably about an hour's drive from Brookline. Maybe he could even make the trip today if his desperation level is high enough. But then, it all depends on whether he's worth bothering with, doesn't it? It's quite a puzzle thinking about the factors in play. If he's hot enough, his desperation index could be very low. It might be like pulling teeth getting him down here, which would kill the impulsive allure of this dumb shit stunt. But if he's a ghoul, he could probably get it, or you could probably get him to swim here. But then, if that's the case, would you go to such lengths to debase yourself like this? Why, indeed. It's an internally rhetorical question. Of course you would. Your thoughts turn again to your idol, dear sweet Post, a complete swamp goblin of a man, and yet, if he were in your kitchen right now, you have no doubt you'd ravage the poor fellow. He would probably be afraid of you. It would be better if he were afraid of you. Your secret wish is that one day you hope to strike sexual intimidation into the heart of an American singer, songwriter, rapper, record producer, and actor, known for his introspective songwriting and laconic vocal style. Not that you would ever make such controversial remarks out loud. Not again, anyway. Not if you hope to have a brand someday. Fuck it, you say. You only get to ruin your life once, or sometimes many times in rapid succession. But if that's the case, you like to think of it as one long, grand act of ruination. And if you're really committed to daisy-chaining a series of life-hobbling mistakes together, you might as well make it count. Brookline's not too far. Yeah. Just a drive and then a ferry. Yeah. I've never been there. Don't really care. Oh my god, wait. Okay. Oh my god, stop fucking typing, Percy. Clown. God, lol. Over there writing a goddamn graduate thesis like a complex, well-articulated response is going to mean fucking shit to me. Okay. Insane, who do you think you are? I don't know. Just a guy who likes your content? My content is fucking trash and you know it. Not really. You look good. Percy. Percy. Dumb name. Sounds like the name of a cuck. I'm not really getting this. Do you really mean all these insults, or is this part of, is this what you're into? Jesus Christ, Percy. Shut the fuck up. I still have no idea if this is a good idea, or if you're a waste of my fucking time. Right, she's drunk texting, so. Alright. I'm gonna choose not to take any of this personally, since you can't possibly know enough about me to form meaningfully negative opinions. Holy fucking shit, we got a lady killer over here. Percy, I'm flying through the panties. They just keep getting soaked due to your amorous repartee. Wow. Moron. Can you just send me a pic already? Oh, yeah, hang on. The selfie is corny AF. Fail. Bad. Sorry? Those ellipses you put before sorry are also corny. Don't get cute with me. Like, fuck, I'm not getting it. Do you think you're useful or whatever? Or charming? Like, you don't matter. Your little idiosyncrasies and quirks of personality do not matter. Take off your fucking shirt. Lol. Barf. Lamau. You aren't going to upset me. I get it now. You just like talking shit. It's your thing. That's cool. Go ahead and tell me how bad I look. I can take it. No, cuck. I'm not fucking with you. You literally just made me laugh so hard I puked in my macaroni. Okay, that's not true, but good one. You did! That dumb fuck face. Your simp-ass fuck-boy Casanova face. Oh my god. Dipshit, you're so dumb. I laoled so much I barfed, also I drank too much. Well, you definitely do seem drunk. But I still don't believe you. I don't think you barfed. I think you're saying that for comical effect, to own me, if you will. To own me, if you will. Jerking off, I guess. Ha 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 ha. You suck so bad, Percy. Perthy, little shirtless baby boy from Brookline, Percy. Simpy Percy nips out. Mommy would be so proud of you and your cute little nippies. Check this out, stupid. You probably just Googled that. Nope. Look. Lol, okay, I believe you. Good one. Are you alright, though? No, man, this isn't happening. What isn't? We aren't bonding over my fucking macaroni puke. Like, this isn't a moment we're having. We aren't becoming friends, and you aren't going to fuck me. Bye, purse. The shenanigan is complete, you suppose. It can be a role to pull shit like this, for reasons you couldn't really explain, but the rush is always short-lived. What soon fills the void, what soon fills the void it leaves behind. What soon fills the void it leaves behind is that unmistakable feeling of self-loathing and disgust. Hussie, I'm not sure if you parsed that sentence correctly. Seems a bit weird. It's all a joke, isn't it? Your life, your brand. Come to think of it, you're not sure which of those two words is more deserving of derisive quotes. Maybe your quest to build a brand is childish, more vainglorious clout-seeking, more contributing to the loud and labored rasp of Western civilization's last dinosaurial gasp. Maybe you should just delete all your accounts. It's not the first time you've had this thought, but it will be the last. The last thought you have before you pass out, that is. You know what? I'm gonna take it slow, and I'm gonna call it here for the time being. And we'll pick this up another time. I can't say that there's anything hideously glaring about it, like I've said. I've heard some words from some friends that aren't very fond of it. Thank you to everyone who showed up, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. If you like what I do here on YouTube, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that like button and leave a comment in the comment section below. Nothing makes a channel on YouTube grow like interaction with the media, but you just being here means the world to me. Thank you so much.
So tell me